welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange, the East End edition on this fine October 2. Yes, it's October. It's rainy. What happened to all that beautiful sunshine? So, what we're going to do, we're going to kind of talk about what's going on inside Phoenix. I'm going to share a screen with you ever so shortly, and you'll see something rolling up in a second. And let's find out what's going on in Phoenix land. So, if you're looking from the outside in, it's pbex.ca. So pbex.ca. And we're just going to scroll down and go, hey, member of the week is Dwight and Nicole Thompson. They are our caterers. They do a great Jamaican blend of food and spicy, if you like. Now you're looking there, there's a YouTube feed and also Dwight's e-card. So you want to know more about it? You want to order some of that really good food? My mouth's already watering. I should have had more breakfast. Click that, yeah. Click the red button that says Dwight's e-card, and it'll take you right there so you can get more contact details. So to visit any of the other groups. So there's a Monday morning group, Bell's Corners edition. Obviously, this one, East End, all from 8 to 9. And Thursday morning, South End group, 8 to 9. And then every first Tuesday of the month, we have an after hours group, and that's one led by Penny Lee, and it's about staying on target with your goals. And East Trade Wins, we meet every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Eastern, free to attend for all businesses, and a good way to meet people in the Ottawa area, in Ontario, across Canada, or from the UK, apparently. And then if you're feeling that you've had a really long and stressful week, we have Tune In with Tony on Fridays at 1:30 p.m. So you can have that relaxing moment and get that chill vibe. And if you need more chill vibe, then you can go and dance with Penny Lee in her Nia class. And, the movement is medicine. And she'll get your heart pumping without actually stroking you out. And then, hey, look, speaking of that, we're now going into Penny Lee's. She's got a potluck on the go on October 11th at 6:30 p.m. Obviously, that's not a Zoom. That's an in-person event. So come on in. The East End is meeting next week, October 9th at 7:30 a.m. at Biggs Bar and Grill off of Saint Laurent. And then the South End group is meeting at River Lounge October 24th. Again, 7:30 a.m. And that's off the what's that? Prince of Wales. That's it. I almost forgot that. That's terrible. And then October 28th, Bell's Corners Group is meeting in Bell's Corners and at the High Five restaurant. There we go. And so what else is on the go? If you see or hear about someone in this session, you want to know more about them, click the QR directory for all members, and you'll have all the instant contact information. So if you need to count those coin to keep the CRA away, Eric's your man. If you need to get that house purchased, that's the Wendy. She's a young miss. She'll take care of you there. Or you're trying to get rid of that house, but in a good way. And if you're looking for money management to do stuff, the Mortgage Honey is available. But yet, still, if you're looking for that kind of dietary needs, we have Susan. So you can find all these people in that list. So, did I tell you it's the first of the month? So, if you're a Phoenix member, please let Tony know what business transactions you had last month, financial, and it's just more a tally as to what's going on. So, what does that mean? Well, you know what? We've done over $4.7 million worth of business since 2016 between members, not even between people we've referred members to, right? Our e-cards are at 7,185. What does that mean? Well, the QR code over my shoulder, if you're looking at the screen, is part of my e-card. We all have one for a member. And it's an easy way for people to get a hold of you, either by phone, whatever method you want for communication. So by phone, text message, email, website, all the usual stuff. It's a great way to share that information. 2 clicks later, your information is stored on their phone or their device. And I'm going to stop the share. And you know what? The next part is we're going to get some words of wisdom. And Tony, floor is yours.
Thank you, Bernie. I want to talk a little bit about getting together and finding our way that we can't do things ourselves. We live in an age where, with all of the technology, of course, a lot of us do things on Zoom, and it almost forces us to be isolated, you know. I remember 30, 40 years ago where we had to do meetings in person and we had no choice. And so there was always that meeting place and or meetings in the mornings, and it was always in person. And you got to know some of the subtleties. It was like this was way before social media, right? And what did we do in those meetings before the meeting started? You know, think about it. It was like, hey, yeah, John, how's your dad doing? I heard he's not doing well. That, oh well, he's improving. He's getting better. He's on physio now. And he says, oh, great, great. And you can catch up with people's lives in this way. We used to talk. We used to write. How many people are writing these days? My grandson, he's 6, and every Friday in the morning, sometimes he's with me, and he sees me writing notes, getting ready for the meeting at 1:30, because a lot of it is channeled, but sometimes I just need signals to say, okay, I'm going into this energy and so on. So I'm writing down notes and things that I want to cover so that it is included in that class. And he says, you know, Grandpa, you write really nice. Because I have a lot of practice, you know. I've been also with Ottawa Flowers, and Langdon's Flowers is a subsidiary. But I was with them, and I used to write the birthday cards. So when people would order flowers, I would write, and I have a nice style. I used to take calligraphy in a class, and all these little skills, it really comes through when you want to send something nice, you know, a happy birthday, or happy Mother's Day. And I always had this flair. I always had a little tail on the M's and the T's and so on. And the people would look at it and it says, well, that's a little too fancy for this. And I says, not to the person that's getting it. Because I want to add a little bit more of me in something that someone else is appreciating, but they can't write it. I have the honor of writing something that I think is going to be meaningful when a person sees it for the first. So when they just see scribbles and they can hardly read the writing, someone obviously, you know, is in a hurry and they are not important. But I always took the time, and sometimes I would have to write hundreds of these going out, especially with sympathy. And that was in a time where I was very cognitive of what energy means to the energy passing and the people that are surviving and so on. So it's not the person itself that is that has passed away, but the survivors and the people that are the loving people that are, and they read it and they see this nice style writing. Someone took the time to write something, and it was great. And I had no idea who they were. I have no emotional connection to them. But the person that ordered the flowers, I transferred that love and that energy over to something that you can write. So when we get together, you know, just know that you make a difference no matter what you do, whether you write something or whether you ask somebody how you're doing. It's a huge thing. And really, when it comes down to it, what really is a friend? A friend isn't always someone that says, you know, oh, I love what you're doing. Oh, everything's going great. I just think it, you know, those aren't the closest friends, are they? They're not. The closest friends are those that say, hey, you know, you got to check yourself in. I see you're partying too much. Because they see you for what you're going to be in the future, not for what you are or what you have been. They see greatness in you. And then sometimes we veer off. Sometimes we party too much. Sometimes we're a little belligerent to some of the people, and we don't notice right away because we're in some kind of space. But a friend will say, hey, what's going on with you? You're a little down these days. Are you okay? That's a friend. And that's what I think Phoenix offers. And I see this all the time. The other day, I saw Susan reaching out to somebody, making sure, asking if their mom was okay. And and that is amazing when people reach out and they don't look and always agree with everything that you're doing. It's like they're looking at the finer points of you to shave off a little bit of something just to keep you on the straight and narrow. They see that, like in my case, I do this all the time. I see people and I see, so things are going about ready to really bust for you. I know things are great. Because sometimes They may not see or hear any encouragement of what they're doing will make any difference. And then all they need is some words from somebody that perhaps sees this. And it's that little light, that encouragement, that little drop of fuel that'll take you another few more feet. And that's so great. And that's what it's great to be in a group like Phoenix, where we see other people glorified. I mean, everyone here, everybody that has joined in some way, that they're a little better than they were before they started, because some people needed practice in presenting, and we've given them lots of time, and you're among friends and you're among people that you're safe. So now if you end up doing a presentation outside where you needed the practice, you have that ability because we gave you that space. We gave you that space to grow and make mistakes and do all those things. And it's great to see. And every one of you are better now than when you were before in some way. You're just and that's what being in any kind of a group is great. So whether it's the Kiwanis or whether it's the Lions Club, and these are all old groups, way like I remember them in my day, and that was like 45 years ago. I remember these groups, and they're much older than that. But they were all brought up to, and it wasn't even about business. When I talked to Eric Sinego, he says, you know, we had these groups many years ago. We never talked about our business. We just talked about caring. We talked about being in a group. We talked about all this stuff. And from that, he says, oh, by the way, what do you do? And if you're an accountant or if you're a salesperson for something, all of a sudden they're intrigued because now they're coming after you for what do you do? I mean, you are this caring person and they want to know more about you. And that's how you gain business. That's how people know more about you. Even though that you're the best at what you do, don't be the best kept secret. Sometimes we're shy and we don't want to say what we do. And there's nothing wrong with it because we all know that it's not what you do that makes you, it's how you do what you do in any profession. Thanks, Bernie.
Hey, thank you so much. And so, folks, we are live on LinkedIn, and here is the feed link. So please feel free to put up your information into that space and share it out. And we're going to do a round robin of, hey, who are you? What are you doing? What are you looking for? Any BAMs or referrals that have transpired so that we can keep up the tab and the numbers. And I will start off with Susan McGarry and then go to Eric Sonego. Susan McGarry, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Yes, it's Susan McGarry with Pure Trim. I am involved with a company that carries high-end nutritional Mediterranean supplements. So if you know anyone that's looking to overcome joint pain, looking for a vitamin mineral supplement, maybe they're looking for a liver cleanse or just beauty products, please have them reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to send them samples or one of our new catalogs that just launched. I had a wonderful visit with Tony. I missed his drive up to Calabogie. I was like, dang, that would have been a great opportunity to see you. However, I guess I was in between something and didn't get your message, but was blessed to see you yesterday and get you back on some of the products consistently. That's great. And got a wonderful email from Eric. He's looking for some Pure Trim products and he sent me a referral, which was really, really nice. So I want to thank Eric for that. Susan with Pure Trim, I'll leave my information in the chat. Thank you, Bernie.
Susan, thank you so much. And over to Eric and then Jacqueline. Eric, over to you, sir.
Good morning. Is my I think my microphone is on. We are installing new equipment at the office, and sometimes I think I am on, and sometimes when I think I am on, I'm not, and sometimes when I am not on, I think I'm on. So there should be a song in that. Eric Sonego of the accounting firm of Eric Sonego Professional Group. We specialize with medium-sized companies, and at this time we're doing year ends and things like that. As a matter of fact, after this meeting, I'm going to Prescott to do a year end for a former member of Phoenix, a member of Phoenix that was a member in Kempville. called Voice to Net, which
yes.
is a company that does telephone installations that are voice over IP. I sent a referral to Susan, and I sent this referral because I had a box of her stuff in my office, and I had this client who kept looking at it. So I said, "Are you hungry?" And he says, "Yes." And I said, "Do you want one of those?" He ate 3 of them, and, and there's 5 to a box, I think. So he emptied me, and then he drank 5 glasses of water, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so 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 I said, do you like this? And he said, "Oh yes." So I said, "I'm gonna give you her name." And then I said to myself, "And when you come, I'm gonna hide my boxes and you're not gonna see them." Um, I have been somewhat not present because I have a sister dying of cancer in Toronto, and you know, my wife goes back and forth to Toronto, and I went there last weekend actually to say goodbye, and it's put a kind of a curtain in my profession, because I have to be all together and present for my clients and my staff, but my mind is sometimes wandering constantly to those other events, and I think that I just wish for her a peaceful exit, and we're going to miss her quite a bit. I don't have anything else to add, so have a great week.
Eric, thank you for sharing, and safe journeys and calm moments. Jacqueline, and then Sam. Jacqueline, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. And I know that's kind of an interesting conversation, Eric, you just had, because my husband's aunt just passed away in Belleville, and they did the celebration of life. It was a very calming and thoughtful opportunity to remember all the great times that we all had together. So thank you. And thank you. I'm wearing orange today because I have a couple of clients that I'm going to be seeing. They're Indigenous and they'd like to buy a property. They thought there's no way I can do it. But someone said, Jacqueline, there could be a mortgage opportunity. And so I'm having conversations with family. And so we will have a conversation about what the opportunities, options, and maybe challenges can be for you. We have the opportunity to have conversations with absolutely everyone. And until you ask, you don't know. When you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, you absolutely need to contact your mortgage honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Any referrals of BAMs?
I connected with, I think I might have said this before, with Matthew with Arizona. And I have two coming up for next week.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mr. Sam, and then we will go to Penny Lee. Sam, go ahead.
Thank you, Barney. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, I do, main thing is dash cameras, also do minor repairs, brake jobs, and what have you to vehicles, including wheel bearings. I'm doing a lot of those these days. I don't know why, but had one last week, and I'm going to have another one next week. So, but I'm going to announce today a contest between October 1st and December 31st. It is for successful referrals to my business, to connectedcars.ca. That means anything from, say, a tire rotation up to wheel bearing or something like that, or oil change. And the person that gives the most referrals will get this. Oh, let's see, there's a reflection, too much of a reflection. Hang on now. These tire covers. This is permanent tire covers. There you go. And a set of those, 4 of them, the winner will get. I've been using them now for a couple of years now, and I think they're great. Usually people have these plastic tire let's say bags that I get, and they get dirty and they rip, and anyway, they're pretty lousy. And these things work really great. I highly recommend them. It's an $80 value, and the winner of the contest, most successful referrals to my business by December 31st will win 4 of them. That's it for me. Sam Sturs, ConnectedCars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle. Oh, referrals. Well, Matt gave me a referral to get some brake work done. And Dave Belleville, I got the referral to him, and I'm going to be doing wheel bearing on that. That's it for me.
Well, Sam, thank you so much. And Penny Lee and then Wendy. Go ahead, Penny Lee.
Good morning, Penny Lee Prevo, the Dancing Motivator. I am the co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated with my business partner, Liz M. Raymond. We actually have decided to shift things a little bit because we both started off working with personal development for general public people. And then we decided to focus more on business, and have discovered that the business concept has to be done in a complete chunk of time versus dragged out over the course of a year. So we are actually going to come back to the personal development side of things, and we are going to be reviving our Thriving Forward Through Change, which I know Jacqueline knows all about. And so we are rebranding that and planning to launch that in January. So that's where our focus is right now. And I've taken components of those teachings and brought them to our retreats, which have been phenomenal. So along with the movement practice, the moving to heal, I'm teaching on a daily basis because I need it as medicine for my body to maintain the vitality that I have attained as a result of practicing the NIA technique. I am looking for people who would also like to regain vitality or increase their vitality through a movement practice. And so I'm actually looking for opportunities to move at conferences. So if you know people that are setting up conferences, it's a really fun movement break. I'm going to be doing that next Wednesday, the 9th of October at Liz's bookkeeping conference. So if you know anybody who is doing conferences, I'd love an opportunity to give them a suggestion of doing the movement practice. I know Jacqueline's been to several conferences before COVID where I was doing that. So, and I have fun doing that on stage. So that's me, where movement is medicine. And as far as referrals, Tony, I have lots for you. It's funny because Tony came to Friends Friday, and when we did the retreat, some of the girls that normally come to Friends Friday were not there. They're like, what? We missed him? Oh my God. So I booked a day in October, and I have 10 people that are coming to see Tony. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Ema came to the retreat. And so we've got work to do together. And who else do I have stuff going? Oh, Susan Ebbs, of course. I have ongoing business with her. And although it's not direct business, Susan McGarry, I continue to take my Pure Trim products. I absolutely love them. I actually gave my dad a bottle of the Joint Mist for his birthday because he has joint issues too. So anyways, thank you.
Billy, thank you so much. Jacqueline, your hand is up, and you also have something happening next week, October 8th. So it's a twofer. Go for it.
It is a twofer. As soon as Penny Lee was talking about it, it's for seniors and retirees, and it is in Vanier. We've put this together. It's just 90 minutes of what can we do, who are we, and it's with Allison Brune, who couldn't be here today, but she'd love to. She talks about retirement in an incredibly wonderful cosmic way. And we're looking for, because it's 90 minutes, Penny Lee, wouldn't it be great if you helped some of the participants get up and move a little bit? So I'm thinking that would be fantastic on that note. Thank you. So I put that information. Hopefully I get to see you October 8, 7 p.m.
And Boogie Nights, yes, it's been a while. While we're also posting content information, Mr. Carl Richards from Podcast Solutions Made Simple has something happening October 9th. So if you're into the podcast space, he's got a boot camp on the go. Details are in the chat. Wendy, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And Eric, wishing you and your family lots of positive vibes this morning. So did you know that there are a lot of sellers who do list their homes through the winter and the spring? You know what? There's no opportune time for some families. You know, they have to list their homes when they're ready to do so. They are not waiting for the spring market, the summer market, etc. So what we're offering to our clients is to do photo shoots of the exterior of their home right now in the fall to capture the ground and all of their surroundings before the snow hits. So if you know of anyone that's looking to list either through the winter or spring, even early summer, now would be the time to have the conversation before the weather changes. I'm also very pleased about my connections in my coaching network with Tom Ferry, because I was recently referred to a Hong Kong client who owns 2 condos here in Ottawa and is looking for some help to list and sell those condos. So I'm very grateful to have made that connection. I can always meet with clients over Zoom, even with the time difference. So if any of you know others who own property here in Ottawa or anywhere else across Canada and they are not able to be here, please reach out to me. I'm very well versed in being able to help people from afar. And if I can't help them directly, I certainly can through my network. So please let me know. Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy. I have ongoing business with Susan Ebbs. Susan, I'll have you know that I ordered a huge collection of Melaleuca products, and I've been sharing and giving them away to some of my clients because I've been hearing conversations that they're having some reactions with their cleaning products. And do I know of any line of products that could perhaps help them to get to, you know, having a clean home and not having to clean with chemicals? So I'm doing my small part for you in sharing those products and asking them for feedback. I also booked a BAM with Dave Bellevaux. I was supposed to meet with him today, but I'm trying to reschedule that for tomorrow instead. Other than that, indirectly, Penny Lee, thank you for introducing me to Liz Raymond. She is an expert at QuickBooks. She did a 2-hour Zoom meeting with me, and boy, does she know her stuff. So if anyone needs some training on QuickBooks, please reach out to Liz Raymond. That's all I have for today. Next week, I won't be seeing any of your beautiful faces. I'm going to take a vacation in Jamaica from October 5th to 12th. So I will be seeing all of you the following week. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. Just another quick service note. We're looking for a financial advisor, especially for the Monday group. People are asking for that service. And if you know anybody that's in businesses looking to expand their client base, bring them in. And you know what? Penny Lee will not only do NIA with them, that's not obligated, but you know, she can walk them through and connect them into the Phoenix family. Cecile, are you able to do a quick intro, or are you still in transit?
Unfortunately, I'm still in transit and I cannot use my camera to do the presentation today, unfortunately, but I'll be glad to do so whenever I'm able to sit home. But it's unfortunately there's high traffic in Ottawa right now.
Cecile, not a
Tell
problem.
us what you do.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm actually a hairstylist. I've been doing hair for the past 20 years. And after COVID, I recently decided to actually do it from home after having a baby. So what I do mainly, it's natural hair, and where I go and just help my clients just maintain their hair in terms of giving them the right product that they need to use for their hair, the good way or habits in taking care of the hair. So that's what I do. I do natural hair. I'm a hairstylist in Ottawa, in Riverside, Finley Creek area. Yes, that's what I do.
Cecile, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And Tony, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cecile, for coming today. It was great that you was able to carve out a little bit of time, even though you're busy. You still made the time, and it's great. You've made this meeting a little better. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a quick thing that Sam brought up. We're doing a contest from now until the end of November. The person that brings in the most visitors will get we have several gift certificates, over $500 worth of stuff. If you want to give a gift certificate to sort of sweeten that a little bit, that's fine. And we just our little thanks for doing the thing to try and bring more guests and visitors into our meeting. Also, I wanted to acknowledge what Jacqueline has brought up. On Monday was Truth and Reconciliation Day for our Indigenous, and we wanted to recognize that there was a lot of emotions around that, and it's great to be able to cut a little bit of time away from our busy lives to be able to have a holiday on the Monday to basically make this an awareness to all Canadians that Indigenous it matters, and they were a huge part of what this country is before we've been able to blend with it. And I know so many Indigenous just within my group, and the people that I've met through clients and so on, and they're amazing people. They're people of the land. They are really truly spiritual, and they hear the trees. They're amazing. They're just incredible people. So it's a beautiful thing that we've managed to recognize them. Okay, so thanks, Jacqueline, for bringing that up. Also, as far as I go, I'm a medium and clairvoyant. I have a podcast that comes out every week. A new one is coming out at 9 o'clock or so, and it's called "Darkness Does Not Exist," and it shows a little bit about how we are so focused on the negative, but negative does not exist. So if you have a chance to listen to that, it might give you a different perspective of how low some energies can go, and that it isn't there. It's because we're focused on something else. But a little bit of external. I do a lot of external visits when I get out quite a bit. One is a gathering very similar to the one I'm doing with Penny Lee, where I'll go to one location and give everybody. It's like a spirit party. It's like a Tupperware party, but I don't bring any products. I just bring basically insight, and we make it fun. I'll bring some of my incredible singing bowls that they could play with while we're in another room giving readings to people all day. It's usually a long day, 10, 12 hours, but usually at the end of it, people will say, "Tony, aren't you tired?" It's the exact opposite. Is because I'm using this energy that goes through me. On my way home, I usually have to stop for a coffee to come down, because it's just so much energy going through. I'm not using my own energy. It's I use my body as a vessel to be able to help other people, whether it's insight, and we'll have all the tools that if something does come up, we can address it right away. Most often people have been holding back things for 30, 40, 50 years, and if it wants to come out, I'm going to be there. So I'm ready. So if you have an event that you want to bring, invite some of your girlfriends or some of the guys that might want a basic a tuning or a reading. It's really great. The one that we did several years ago was grandfather that passed away, and there was something like 18 people part of it, and the whole family was just devastated because he was such a big part of the community. And we ended up doing that one. We got there at about 7 a.m. and didn't finish until about 4 in the morning the following day. We just went through 18 people, so it was a big job, but we had people that were 80 years old and 8 years old because grandpa had passed away, and so totally respected, and to bring some kind of measure of peace because grandpa was there to be able to give them the insight or the peace, a closing off sort of thing that might have been really great for them. So just to do that in one day, to give all these people that kind of level of peace was just amazing. So I also do hospital visits as well. So if people are in hospital, in a coma, unconscious, we do those visits as well. So these are all the external work that we do that if we are asked, we are there. Okay? Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. And BAM wise, I had a BAM with a BAM is a business activity meeting near Cecile. It's when a couple of members get together and they just talk about things and get to know each other a little better. I had business with Dave. I bought some more products there. Penny Lee, I had a BAM with her yesterday. Marvelous meeting there, Penny Lee. That's thank you for that. Ongoing business with Eric Sinego, and picked up some products for Susan McGarry. So thank you for keeping us healthy, Susan. And that's it for me, Bernie. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. And for myself, my friends here at Creative Insight, connect businesses, do a podcast, Knack for Business, talk to people about their business journey. Involved with these trade wins. There's a YouTube link there if you want to see past presentations. Also involved with the Property Wizard, which is a podcast about understanding about real estate investing and what's all involved and all the different pieces that come together. Now, that all said, our main act, Miss Susan Abbs. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Yay.
Thank you very much, Bernie. And I just want to get my BAMs in so I don't forget them. Ongoing business was Wendy and Penny Lee. I think I already mentioned Joyce Owen, a former member. I did some business with her last week, and Norm Boyer. I gave a referral for him to a friend of mine that has some housework that needs to be done for his honey-do list. And I have a request that I'd like to put out to everybody. Another friend is needing a referral to a lawyer. Now, this it's financial matters that she's dealing with. And so if anybody knows of a good lawyer, I'd appreciate that referral. So get your hats on. I'm going to depress you and impress you. I decided that today I would talk to you from one of our health manuals that we receive notifications from each month, and it's R.M. Barry. So what I'm going to tell you is from our latest excerpt, and it's on Let's Stop Poisoning Our Children. So it's kind of morbid in a bit. So why should a 3-year-old Jason Whiteley have died a lingering and horrible death? 2 weeks after drinking 3 ounces of hair conditioner containing ammonia, the poor little boy died. Why should 7-month-old Adrian Gonzalez have died? He crawled through a puddle of spilled bleach, giving him 3rd-degree burns on 50% of his tiny body and burning his lungs with the fumes. It took him 4 agonizing days to die. And why should little Peter Schaub have suffered so? He crawled over to the dishwasher, put his finger in the detergent dispenser, and ate a fingerful of undissolved electrosol. In minutes, his face was blistered and the inside of his mouth was burned. Another person, their child, sprayed Lysol in the mouth, and ended up having to have multiple operations because it had burnt his esophagus. Every year, 5 to 10 million household poisonings are reported. Many are fatal, and most of the victims are children. The real tragedy is accidents like these could be avoided, but most parents are not aware of the effective products on the market that are much safer than nationally advertised brands and in most cases cost less. Melaleuca. So, the average home today contains more chemicals than were found in a typical chemistry lab at the beginning of the 20th century. And a lot of us are working from home. The Consumer and Product Safety Commission determined that cleaning products are some of the most dangerous substances in our home. Look underneath your sink. That's where you keep your cleaning supplies and your personal care supplies. Window cleaner, bleach, detergent, shampoo, mouthwash. These products can be poisonous. They can even injure children. Thousands of calls go to the Poison Control Center. Why would you keep a loaded gun under your sink? Yet these products can be just as deadly. Would you feel comfortable keeping a loaded gun under your sink? Would you bet your child's life that they could never get into that gun? Well, no. Yet, according to the CDC, more children die of accidental poisoning than are accidentally killed by guns. Terrible, terrible statistic. Why are these hazards in your home at all? Probably because you didn't realize how dangerous they could be. There are products on the market that are effective, safer, and more affordable than the brand names. Melaleuca. Most poisonings happen slowly through daily exposure to the toxic chemicals that are in the air or come in contact with the skin. Do you know that when you wash your dishes in the dishwasher, not only are you putting the chemicals out into the air, when the machine is running, but you've now got those chemicals on your plate and then you're ingesting those chemicals. It's a double whammy. Here's what statistic is kind of scary. The average American uses 25 gallons of hazardous chemicals a year in their home. The Consumer Product Safety Commission found 150 common household chemicals have been linked to allergies, birth defects, cancer, and psychological abnormalities. Excuse me. And there's been many more cases of autism, ADHD, asthma because of the chemicals. In one groundbreaking study, subjects were studied over a 20-year period. I believe this is the lung study. Researchers discovered the use of common household cleaners could deteriorate the lung capacity. The study concluded that with regard to lung function, using household cleaners as little as once per week. How many of you clean your house once per week? It's equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. And children are exposed to these chemicals. With your child's long-term health and yours too, why risk it when it's so easy to switch and use an alternative product? The EPA reports toxic chemical vapors are often up to 10 times higher indoors than outdoors and can lead to cancer, organ failure, and nervous system damage. Children spend 90% of their time in homes now, in their home now, playing on their games. We are working from home a lot of the time. So we are susceptible to these hazardous toxins because they are absorbed into the children absorb them more than adults because they're closer down to where the toxins are. So to summarize, what you need to do is get rid of all of your current cleaning products. You know, you walk down the cleaning aisle and unfortunately they put it beside the pet food and there's an aroma that comes off of the chemicals. Well, that stuff is toxic. That's what we're talking about. Get rid of those chemicals. And Melaleuca products do not have chemicals. They're natural products. A lot of them are lemon based, citric acid, citric based, and also the Melaleuca oil, which is sourced from Australia, by the way. So detoxify your home. Susan Ebbs. Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much. Does anybody have a question for Susan? Go ahead, Wendy.
Not a question, it's just an appreciation for cleaning without chemicals and toxins. So thank you, Susan, for your presentation and reminder. Before I was introduced to Melaleuca, and I only found this out not long ago, my brother, when he was in university, him and his now wife used to promote or share the Melaleuca story. And they were here on the weekend, and I have a box of other products, and they have 2 cottages, which they Airbnb. And I said, listen, I have a box of Melaleuca products. Why don't you take some of those back with you and, you know, reintroduce yourself to the benefits of cleaning without chemicals. You know, I'm always trying to spread the word because I haven't used chemical products probably for the last 15, 20 years. And before I was introduced to Melaleuca, I was always seeking out other ways because I knew that the chemicals were just having I was having a reaction to them. So I had to find a way to clean, you know, with something. So thank you, Susan, for the work that you do and continue to promote, you know, the benefits of using non-chemical products.
Thank you, Wendy.
Does anybody else have a question for Susan? So, Susan, I have a question. There are certain chemicals, like, you know, if they're bleach based or chlorine based, and you wouldn't mix with other elements, you know, the Drano or bleach and vinegar. You know, and vinegar is even more common, softer acid, relatively soft, I guess, depending on the concentration. Do you store stuff in certain areas to keep them far apart? Also, is there anything that's not good to mix side by side? Not mix as in together, but store side by side.
You mean in regular products or
Yeah. Regular products.
I couldn't say for sure, Bernie. Like most people will take and put their toxic cleaning products under the sink or up above if you've got young children. I don't know about the chemical interactions, though. I'm not versed in that really, so I could double check and see if I can get you information on that, though, if you were needing more.
Is there anything you have to be mindful of with the Melaleuca products then, or is it just not right?
Sorry?
Anything you have to be mindful of with the Melaleuca products that shouldn't be close or stored nearby other elements or other chemicals?
Not really, because they're natural products. You've got to be mindful of your pets. You definitely don't want to be leaving things out for them to get into, or the children for that matter. But I mean, the SoluGuard or the Solu-Mel, we can use that on our carpeting to get pet stains out and get smells out. So it's not toxic for the animals at all, because they can walk on it right afterwards. So that's not a problem. Laundry soap, no problems with that. Some people have allergies to scents. Like, they can't handle perfumes and whatnot. And so Melaleuca has got cleaning, or not cleaning products, laundry soap that is non-scented, and so that is helpful. The candles, you really have to be careful with candles. I know if I light a candle from a store nowadays, it gives me an asthma attack because there's so many chemicals in those. Melaleuca candles don't do that, and they burn. They take longer to burn, so that it's much they burn evenly too. So that's a good thing. Nothing really other than that you have to worry about, because like it's all natural, so there's no interaction with anything. Yeah,
Thank you,
that's all I can think of.
Susan. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed too, Susan. That when a candle burns very quickly, it's usually a very cheap product. The ones that are good, or the Melaleuca ones are good. Anything in the beeswax is also very good. It's a natural. It actually brings the essence of the bee, which is a very high vibrational insect, and it dispenses that into the air. So it's really good for if you have a meditation room or a place of calm, to light that, and it actually spurs and calms people down. Bees are very important there. So yeah, it's if something burns very fast, there's a lot of chemicals in it. Even the thick ones, the big ones, they burn pretty fast too. The ones that are like $1.50 at Dollarama, they go through it very quickly. It should last about 4 times as long, but it does burn very fast. It's more money in it, but it burns quicker, right? So they make it that way.
Oh, I didn't depress everybody.
No.
All right, closes off for the quote for the day. Fear is the disease, hustle is the antidote. From Travis Kalanick.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Bernie.